Oh, hi there. I'm Jeannie. Welcome to Mimicraft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes, so you don't have to. Our first project is going to be a shelf. It can be either a tabletop shelf or a wall shelf. You'll need about 150 blocks. I'm too lazy to count exactly. And about 20 beads. They're the size that you get on the Dollar Tree bead wreath, so like a 1/2 to 3/4 inch of those beads. First, take 54 blocks, 9 wide by 6 high, and glue those together. You're actually going to want to do 2 sets of this whole big block thing. Now, if you're new to my channel, hello. I like to use wood filler on these things. And what you see me doing off screen, because that's how I roll, I'm adding water to my wood filler because it just makes it easier to work with. And then I like to apply my wood filler with a rag, usually a t-shirt type material, and get it into all those little cracks and crevices. I like to do it really fast. While the filler is still wet, I use a damp cloth to wipe off all the excess so I have a lot less sanding when it's dry. Please pretend I'm sanding right now. Next step, for each shelf, you're going to make 2 of these 9 block sets, and we're going to place these on the underside of the shelf to make it more stable so it can handle a little bit of weight. And no, I didn't wait for the glue to dry. You do it when the glue's dry. It'll work better. Make sure that one of the block sets is at the front, perfectly even with the front of that shelf. I added weight to these in the most ironic way possible until the glue dried. Then fill in the front side of that shelf to make it look all pretty. Ooh, look, I sanded for real that time. Add 2 more blocks in the corners you see here, and that's going to help you to balance it out when you're working on it. Just trust me. Next, glue 5 sets of 9 blocks end to end. Then wood fill them fast. I just wanted to show you where I got my beads. These are the same size as the Dollar Tree ones, and they're from Hobby Lobby. They were on sale for half off, so I got 100 beads for about $4. Now these beads are going to go between those 5 9 block sets, as you see here on screen. And what you're going to do is you're going to glue them on either end in the very center of the block. And if you just lay that flat on the table, that'll work out fine for you. And just watch to see how to do it. Now lastly, you're going to put 2 beads up on top, and then you're going to put 2 beads on the bottom. 2 beads? 2 beads on the bottom. Now next you're going to glue beads between 5 single blocks and make 2 of those, so it'll be 10 single blocks altogether. By the way, if you know that you want to paint this, I would paint these single blocks and paint the beads separately before gluing them together. Make another one of these to keep the first one company. And here I'm using a little bit of water and a paintbrush to get rid of the extra glue. And then I forgot the bottom bead, so now I'm gluing that on also. Give these a good couple hours to dry before you start messing around with them. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by gluing, this is going to be the front. We're going to glue both of these on to one of the shelves. I used the square to make sure that it was even with that shelf, and you see I put a little bottle there to hold it still, and repeat on the other side, nice and blurry. Then I used the square to make sure that that was a perfect 90-degree angle, and then let it dry like as long as you can stand it. Didn't really realize till this stage that I needed those support pieces, so please forgive me. When that's dry, you're going to take that big piece that you glued together and you're going to place it as seen on screen, and just try to make sure that it's even with the edges and even with the front. And you see those two blocks there? None of your business. Now when this has dried overnight, you can add your second shelf on, making sure everything lines up with the bottom shelf.
And isn't it ironic, don't you think?
This is how mine turned out. Next, we're going to make a wall sconce, and you'll need 36 of the plain tumbling tower blocks and 16 of the brown tumbling tower blocks. You'll also need a very tall water bottle. Glue 21 blocks together in this pattern. As you can see, I used a block for my spacing between all of the others. There will be a row of 6, row of 5, row of 4, row of 3, row of 2, and a row of 1. And don't forget to wipe off all that excess glue. Glue on 15 blocks in descending order, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, until you have a diamond shape. Fill her up. Then sand her down. Next, grab your water bottle. I bought this bottle of water at Dollar Tree. The brand name, I guess, is Perform. I think it's vitamin water or electrolyte water or something. After removing the label, I marked where I wanted to cut the top of the bottle off and the bottom of the bottle off so that I would have a perfect little tube. Here I use some alcohol to remove that marker. Take 4 brown blocks and place them on either side of your water bottle, as you see here, so that they're touching. We want a real tight fit. You can see I haven't cut the bottom of that water bottle off yet. Oh well. Next, place glue on either end of each of these blocks for the next layer of blocks you're going to put on. Place 4 more blocks on top of those previous blocks with the glue on them, as you see me doing here. And it'll look like that. Glue on 4 more blocks. I used a spare block to make sure that the blocks were parallel to the layer underneath. Glue on 1 more set of 4 until you have something that looks like this. On one of those sides, you have to make sure that the blocks are sticking out far enough that you can use them to glue them down flat. I didn't like how the light shade looked clear. Spoiler alert, the water bottle is the shade for the light. So I took some, let's see, what color was that? That was ivory chalk paint from Waverly, and just used one of those little sponge daubers to coat the whole outside. I then sealed it with matte Mod Podge so that the paint wouldn't scratch off. Now would be a good time to put a hanger on the back. I decided to use a sawtooth hanger, and you can use a loop or, whatever it is you normally use. This isn't all that heavy. Remember how I told you to leave one of those sides sticking out a little bit? You can see from here that I didn't, but that's where I put the glue on, and then I placed this little guy right here in the very center of the background of the sconce. I used a battery-operated under cabinet light that I purchased on Amazon just years ago, so I can't really give you a link, and some of Dollar Tree's version of command strips to put the light inside the shade. When this is dry, you can just slide it right into the little brown black ring, and it should hold real snugly for you. I didn't have any problems. No problems getting it to hold. Obviously, all kinds of problems trying to get it in there the right way. There we go. And once again, I did not wait for the glue to dry before I put this together. And this is how mine turned out. Now let's see what these look like painted up. I'm using the color Elephant from Waverly. And now I'm going to distress this with the color Ivory from Waverly. You'll see that I really load up a stencil brush, but then I wipe off as much as possible before I start distressing. That way you have a little bit of control over your paint. Like the harder you press, the more the paint way deep in the brush will come out. The lighter you press, the less paint that'll come out. Here's a couple distress marks that came out too dark, so I just went back over them with the elephant. And this is how she looks painted up. I am so happy with how this turned out. Now for the sconce, I decided to paint the back of it with the ivory paint, as you see me doing here. And then painted the ring with, never mind. I decided to distress this with the elephant paint, but the more I did, the more it started looking like something recovered from an arson investigation.
Hated it.
So I painted all the squares and the outside edges with the elephant paint. Then I sanded off as much of the distressing as I possibly could so that I could recover that again with the ivory. And what I'm using here is just the sponge end of the dauber. It broke, but that was a good way to do it. And then this is how that one turned out. The dark gray squares and edges really gave this project a lot more depth. And here they are together. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave me a comment to let me know which one of these projects you like the best. Until the next one, bye.